I'm here to sell my ring pistol today.
Ring pistol.
Yep.
Damn, I've never seen one of these before. Hey, Pops, this might be something you'd be interested in.
What?
It's a pistol ring.
Hey, what?
Yeah, it's like something James Bond would wear.
Damn, Rick.
I came down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my 1800s antique ring pistol. They're very, very, very rare. Looking to sell it because I'm really not a gun collector. I'm looking to get $9,000. I'll use it to buy some of the things I collect more often.
Where the hell did you get this at, son?
I picked it up off a collector overseas a couple of years ago. It's called an Imperial Protector. This is a 6-shot version. I assume it was for gamblers.
It's novelty, but it's also seriously a gun. I mean, it would really hurt getting shot with this thing.
You're sitting in a card game with this on. You would piss somebody off.
Do you know the date of manufacture on this thing?
The late 1800s, that's what I was told.
Probably earlier than that, because this is pen fire. There's actually a little pen coming out the side of the bullet. And when the hammer comes down, it hits that pin. It's one of the earliest cartridge systems used. I mean, it's a real attention getter.
Yes, it is.
The first pen fire guns came out in the early 1800s, and they were still using them during the Civil War. A tiny piece like this was not commonly seen, but it was a great piece to get out of a bad situation. People didn't wear them just for fashion. I mean, the neat thing is, it's really, really well done, though. You know, a lot of these old, odd little guns like this were really cheaply made. I mean, the ring is sterling. This is really nice machining. It's in really good shape. Someone really spent some time and spent some money making this thing. This pistol ring is one of those things I've only heard about or seen in a book. And I've been doing this for a long time. It's unreal how cool this thing is. How much did you want for it?
$9,000. They're pretty rare.
Let me get a friend of mine down here who's gonna know more about this than I am.
Okay.
It's just, I've never seen one.
Yeah, I hadn't either until I bought this one.
All right, I'll be right back. This is the coolest gun I've seen in a long time. If everything checks out, I'll be firing this at the gun range by the end of the day. Check this out. It's a
Ring gun.
ring gun.
Usually the guys will call me down here if they get something rare and obscure. I've been around guns my whole life, and I'll tell you, it's always great to see something that you only heard of or saw pictures of. This is kind of cool. Did you buy this in the States?
No, I bought it overseas.
Overseas, yeah, I figured. The European gunsmiths, they were making all kinds of little weird things. This is the Imperial Protector, basically French, mid-1800s, 1880s. Unbelievably well-made gun, and they're very scarce. You had to be rich to buy something like this. I mean, this is not something you went down to your local gunsmith and bought. They were pieces of art. You would take a little screwdriver, unscrew the center cylinder, take it out, load the rounds, put it back in, screw it back in again, and then you would cock the hammer over here on the side. Bang.
Bang.
When you fired it, the hammer would act as a blast shield also. A flame would come out where the pin was. It was intimidating.
Yeah.
I'd hate to sit across a poker table with somebody wearing one of these, but yeah.
All right, so what do they go for?
You didn't have any ammunition with it, do you?
No.
Unfortunate. They're very rare. Normally, I see them go from between 4,000 to 6,000. Of course, the ammunition would make it more. At a recent auction, one was up for sale. Two guys started going at it, and it went for $11,500.
Okay. Thanks, Tony, I really appreciate it.
Hey, Rick, good seeing you.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Claire.
Anytime.
Bye-bye.
I'll give you $3,000 for it.
No, can't do it, sorry. $9,000. They're pretty rare. It's a nice piece.
I agree it's a nice piece, but you have to understand, too, that we're not collectors.
No, I understand.
Would you take 4?
No. Seen them at 11,000, 12,000, 14,000.
Asking for it, or?
They're asking for it. And I've seen some sold. I saw another one sell with a broken spring for $7,500.
You know, I'd go $5,000 on it.
No.
Okay. I really want this, but this guy isn't making it easy. I may have to go more than Tony's estimate because I really think it's worth the risk. When something this cool comes in the store, you just got to go for it. $7,000 would be my top dollar.
$100 bills.
No, can't do it.
What would be your best price?
Bottom line, 8,500. That's it.
As amazing as this thing is, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Thanks.
Thank you.
It really sucks to see that pistol ring walk out of here. But I was already thousands over what I felt comfortable, and he only went down 500 bucks. He can take it somewhere else. So what do we got here?
Well, it's a desk, but it's not really a desk. It's actually a gun.
It's a gun desk.
Yes, when you push down on the inkwell, a bullet fires out through the trap door.
Sweet, that means I got a gun aimed at my right now.
I'm coming down to the pawn shop today to try and sell my gun desk. I have no idea how much it's worth. I just really am curious what it was used for and how old it is. If I sell it, that's fine. If I don't, I'm okay with that too.
Where in the world did you get this?
I got it in an estate sale. I was just looking for a nice little desk to put a guest book on. When we got it home, I was trying to figure out how to open it and had a really good look inside it and said, you know, this isn't a desk, this is a gun.
I've seen guns concealed in all kinds of things. Swords, canes, even cameras. I've seen desks with hidden gun compartments, but I've never seen a desk as a gun. It's something straight out of a James Bond movie.
It's not
Why are you
loaded.
sticking your face in there?
This is why I'm keeping it at an angle here.
I just don't get it. I mean, you're really not going to stop anybody if you shoot them in the thigh with a small 22 like that.
Well, it's not even a regular 22. It's a 22 short or something, it looks like. I mean, the problem is there's no barrel there. The bullet is not going to come out with a lot of power because there's no barrel for back pressure to build up to send the bullet flying. I have never seen one before. I have no idea what this thing is. I only buy guns that are made 1898 and back. That makes it an antique firearm that doesn't have to be registered with the ATF or anything else like that. The problem I have here is I don't know the date this thing was made. Do you mind if I have a buddy look at this thing? Because I am just completely lost here.
Not at all. That's
Thanks.
great.
I really want this desk. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But until I know for sure it was made in 1898 or before, I can't legally buy it.
So where's the gun?
This is the gun.
What? My name is Sean Rich. I own Tortuga Trading Incorporated, and I specialize in antique arms and armor.
This thing is a gun. You press there, there's the trigger. That falls down, hits the hammer. The bullet flies out this way. You ever seen one?
I've never seen this. What is the practical application? That's what's going through my head.
I don't see one myself.
To have this all built in like this in a tiny little desk, nobody's going to buy this for their children. I have been collecting guns and weapons since I was 10 years old. I've never seen anything like this. You can see that it's been broken in half once before, but I do not think that a bullet hitting this broke that in half. And if it did, it would have blown this completely off.
Oh, I
or it
didn't
would
know
have put
that.
a hole in it at the very
Yes.
minimum. The realm that this item falls into is a collector's novelty. It could have been even just a one-off or maybe a movie prop, what have you. Who knows what it was really used for?
The other thing is, I don't know how old this thing is.
Anything manufactured before 1898 is okay. You can ship it, you can buy and sell, no problem. Anything after 1898 has to be registered through an FFL licensed dealer with the ATF. The barrel is so tiny, but it's open-ended, means that it could shoot a projectile, and that's an issue. And the other part of this is that, okay, it's one to have a gun, but now you have a concealed weapon because it's a hidden gun. Have you had it apart?
Yes.
Okay, was there any name of manufacturer or any kind of markings on the firing mechanism?
There was the beginnings of a patent number. It said patent 1, and then you can't read the rest.
It looks to be in that 1890s to about 1910 era,
Oh,
but
good.
I couldn't tell you one way or the other for absolute certainty. So if I can't guarantee it, it's a gray area for you and it's not worth the risk. Here's an option. You'd have to bring it to a gunsmith and have him professionally deactivate the mechanism. Then it can be legal to buy and sell.
Oh, I'd love to do that then. That's what I'll do.
I wish I could help you out more. It's just one of those things. Thanks for bringing it in.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really wish I could have bought this because the odds of another gun desk coming in here are slim to none. but the law is the law. Hopefully she'll get it deactivated and bring it back, because I would love to have it. Hey, what can I help you with?
Let me have a look at this.
What is it?
Well, my old man's a watchmaker. He's now retired. He told me it was a pivot turning tool.
Okay.
Where you from, sir?
I'm from England.
Sounds like it.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to try and sell my antique watchmaker's tool. I got this tool from my dad. He used to be a watchmaker. He's quit, so he's clearing all his stuff out and gave it to me to try and sell it. It's really old, you know, it's in good condition, and we'll see what we can get for it.
So what can you tell me about it?
It's a pivot turning tool, which don't mean a lot to me, so I'm not a watchmaker.
So you never worked on watches with your dad?
Nah, he always wanted me to, but I ain't got the patience for it, you know.
I ain't got the small little teeny hands required.
And I ain't got the eyes for it.
Early watchmaking was a delicate and tedious job because it was all about precision. They used so many tiny, intricate instruments, very few people had the patience or the steady hand. You know how old this is?
I think it's about the turn of the century, something like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, you got some steel collets, some brass collets for gripping like a drill bit or something like that. This holds the collets, and this does, I have no idea. Well, it holds this for something, and maybe this goes into something.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know, I know all about watches, but the tools that put them together, I'm not real big on. I have no idea if even all the parts are here or even if the thing works. But I do have a buddy who's a watchmaker. I can come down and take a look at it. He can tell us what it is and maybe tell us what it's worth.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Cheers.
My name's Ferdinand, and I'm a watch and clock maker. Rick calls me in to look at these things because in watchmaking, you have such a lot of different specialty tools. You may not come across another one in a lifetime. Okay. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. It's a watch screw refinishing tool.
A what?
Watch screw finishing tool. I know it's a mouthful. It's even longer in German. But this is actually for fine refinishing screws.
Just to polish screws?
Just to polish screws.
Can you show me how to use it?
Yeah, I could. Mind you, we don't have the vise here. If you want to hold it, I can give you a little bit of demonstration. Yeah, okay. So I'm putting the screw in the collet here, the thread, all the way in. And with that, I tighten it. So now it's tight in there. Now I put that in there. Now this is emery paper on a stick, so it's nice and flat. Mm-hmm. And you need to hold it nice and flat here, so you got a good angle. And as you're going like this, you can get a good finish.
Oh, okay. So how old do you think this thing is?
Well, G. Bolle, made in Germany. Yeah. Bolle was actually a very well-known and high-quality manufacturer of watchmakers' tools. But from about 1900 on, people would use lathes now to do the same thing.
Okay.
So I would say before 1900.
Basically, this is just antiquated?
Yeah, it's a novelty. It's a novelty now. The tool is not really used today. You would use a lathe to do the same job, you know, and far more efficiently and quicker. So the market would only be for a collector.
What do you think it's worth?
Well, it's worth it's worth a lot if you need to polish the screw. But unfortunately, there's not much demand for that. That's the biggest problem.
I was hoping I could sell it to you.
Okay, I've got 20 bucks in my pocket.
Well, I appreciate you coming in.
No, you're welcome.
You have a good day.
You too.
All right, well, you heard him. I'd give you like 20 bucks for it.
So I'll take it back with me and give it to me old man. Cheers anyway.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming
Have a
out.
good day, my friend.
You too, mate.
How can I help you?
Just trying to sell this thing. It's a key, gun.
A key and a gun. If you have a gun on your key, you must live in a really bad
Oh,
neighborhood.
it's nasty, I'll tell you. Well, this was in a box with a bunch of other keys. I looked at it, and it looked like it more than just a key. So I figured, what the heck? It's worth something.
Where did you get this?
My wife and I travel, and we stop at a lot of flea markets or antique shops. Thought it was interesting.
So how much did you pay for it?
I paid 40 bucks for it.
Okay. I've seen a lot of old guns, and I've seen a lot of old keys. But I've never seen a gun key or a key gun. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Did you ever try and shoot it?
No. I wasn't even sure if you could shoot it.
Well, it's definitely a gun. It's a real primitive gun, but it's a gun. It's an old matchlock gun. It was the first gun with a trigger. Before this was you would just take a fuse in your hand and just go like that.
Oh boy.
And then they came up with this big innovation right here that would hold the fuse. Fill this full of gunpowder, put their little rope in there, and go. What gets me is I can't understand why it's on a key. You know, I just can't figure out if they took a key and made a gun out of it, or they took a gun and made a key out of it. It's not every day I get stumped, but yeah, you did it.
Well, how old do you think it is?
I think it's 1600s or earlier. I mean, it's just the way the patina is, the way the metal is. It's really hard to fake aging metal like this because this is iron, and iron will rust, and then after a long time, the rust will turn black. I'm pretty sure this thing is genuine, but I don't know what it's worth. But I do like it a lot. So I'm gonna take a small gamble on it. So what do you want for it?
$1,100.
Nah. You know how you paid for 40 bucks for this and took a shot in the dark? I'm paying 200 bucks and taking a shot in the dark.
Yeah, how about 500?
No, I'd go like 200 bucks.
250?
I just don't know enough about it.
All right, what the heck?
Okay.
200.
All right, let's go do some paperwork.
Most of the stuff in my house I don't make anything off of. I sold this for 200 bucks, made a $160 profit. I'm happy.
Well, I bought this yesterday. It was a complete shot in the dark.
I'm an expert in antique arms and armor, primarily from the 16th century through the 18th century. I've been in this business for at least 25 years as a collector and a dealer. How'd you get it?
Well, Samo, someone walked in here, said he was at like a flea market. I mean, honestly, the only reason I bought it is because it looks really old.
I've seen a couple of these before, but they are really rare. And this was handmade, and most likely it's probably, 17th century. This was intended to actually work a lock as well as being a gun.
I really don't understand it, why anyone would even make the thing.
This could have belonged to, a jailer in the 17th century. If you were to put just a bunch of buckshot in here, it would ruin your day. But is it practical? No.
I can't believe some jailer had to walk around with this thing. It's a ridiculous thought. It's not exactly an intimidating weapon.
This is one of those unique items that is going to be a cross-collectible. It's going to appeal to not only a key collector, but a gun collector. Okay. So you're going to have two different arenas fighting for it. I think it probably would be, especially in an auction, $1,200 to $1,500. Now you just need to find the buyer.
Well, that's why I called you.
I figured you were going to say that.
Sean is always down here at the shop helping me out, authenticating and pricing items. And every once in a while, I even sell him something. So what would you give me for it?
Well, I don't know. I would definitely give you a profit. What, realistically, what do you want for it?
I'll take 500 bucks for it.
Boy, this is an awkward spot for you to be in.
You know what? I'll go 450 because you help me out all the time.
Fair enough.
All right. I'm happy to make a deal with Sean. He's a great guy, and he helps me out all the time. But the best part is, he asked me to come and watch him shoot it today. It's going to be awesome.
All right. I'll pay you next week. Later. I'll lock the door on the way out.
Are you sure you want to shoot this thing? I think it could blow up.
It could. It really could. If you loaded it incorrectly and created too much breech pressure, since this thing is so old, you don't know what's going to happen.
It's just like the dumbest idea I've ever seen in my life.
Keep talking. You're going to talk me out of doing this. This is something that dates to the 17th century. You just can't trust the integrity of the metal. The first thing I've got to do is make sure that the bore is clear. Blowing compressed air just clears it out. We're going to put 30 grains.
Sure you want to put that much gunpowder in it?
Yeah, why not? Today we're going to fire this thing, but we're not going to shoot a projectile out of it.
How the hell do you light that thing?
We're going to make a wick. Back in the day, they would have used probably some kind of a hemp cord.
Okay.
Something that once they lit it, it would just be a real slow burn. When it's lit, you pull that trigger down, and it lowers that hot ember into the pan, igniting the priming powder, making it shoot. One of the things I really have to pay attention to is that once I light this wick, that it doesn't get anywhere near this pan until I'm ready to shoot it.
Okay.
You know, I can't believe anybody would want to rely on this thing to protect themselves. I mean, it was just such a ridiculous design. Okay, so you ready to fire it?
No, but I'm ready to watch you shoot it.
Oh, come on, man.
There ain't no way I'd shoot that thing.
I'm starting to feel like chum.
I'm really excited to see this thing fire. And I'm even more excited that for once, I'm not at risk of paying someone workman's comp.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully.
All right.
Come on.
The criminal is beating your ass now.
It's really amazing the amount of time that lapses trying to shoot this thing and make it fire. You know, I'm hoping back in the day they would have refined it a bit, because today's experience, I would have been dead.
Criminal would have beat your ass before you got the thing off. You know what I mean?
Seriously, I would have been just absolute toast.
You've just been like, stay away! Ah, ah,
Yeah,
ah.
and it's not like you can go, wait a minute, time out, I can't get it to work.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
What can I help you with today?
I've got a 1768 lottery ticket signed by George Washington.
Well, you can't cash it in here.
I'm going into the pawn shop today to try to sell a lottery ticket signed by George Washington. What I like about this lottery ticket is it's very rare and the signature is pristine.
So where the hell did you get this?
Well, I bought that from a collector in Connecticut, and I'm an avid document collector, but I have more documents than I have money, and I need some cash.
So do you know anything about it, or?
Alls I know, it's part of a lottery that was pre-Revolutionary War, and I do know Washington signed a few of them.
There was a lot of different reasons they did lotteries back then. Sometimes they were for a charity, sometimes they were just to get a business going. The thing that confuses me, I don't know why George Washington would sign a lottery ticket.
What do you mean by that?
A lot of times, lotteries were a little corrupt back then, and people didn't like to associate their names with them. I can understand why they would want George Washington associated with the lottery for credibility. It surprises me, though, he actually got involved with it. The lotteries back then aren't like the lotteries they have today. Some of them were so corrupt, they had predetermined winners. So they didn't have the best reputations. It's definitely hand-laid paper. You can see the lines in the paper.
Right.
Everything looks right. One of the problems is it's in really, really good shape. And it surprises me that some of these spots where the writing with the iron ink hasn't began to eat through the paper.
Yeah, well, that's one reason I bought it, though. It was so pristine.
Yeah, it scares me. This thing is in amazing shape, which on one hand is good, but we're talking about a tiny scrap of paper that's 250 years old. How could it be in this great a shape? Makes you a little suspicious. Did you want to pawn it or sell it?
I really want to sell it.
Did you have an idea what you wanted for it?
I feel the thing's worth between $8,000 and $10,000. I think the autograph's worth about $8,000, and I want to get at least $5,000 for it.
I'd really like to get it checked out. This is way beyond my area of expertise. I got a buddy who knows all about this stuff. Let me get him in here. We'll look at it. We'll see what we can do.
I'd love it.
I just don't want to. I don't even want to throw out a number.
That's fine.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, this is what I called you about.
I'm a specialist in early American autographs, documents, and various Americana. The early colonial period lotteries were a way for funding special projects such as the building of bridges, restoring buildings, in this case, building a mountain road. George Washington was a landowner, a speculator, and this was actually a project that he had come up with to build a resort, if you could believe that, based on the type of baths that were in Bath, England. And this was to build a road going to the Hot Springs area in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
So, Rick, what are your concerns about this lottery ticket?
You know, the first big giant flag throwing up is it's in such wonderful shape.
Okay. Well, in this particular instance, the tickets were never issued. He had them printed up, signed and numbered, but They never actually held the lottery.
So someone originally found all the original paperwork and cut it up and sold the signatures, or?
Fundamentally, that's what happened. And that's why this particular ticket has the number on the left plus the number on the ticket. Normally, you would cut off that portion and then match the ticket up against the cutting lines when it was presented for a prize.
The fact that these were never issued is fantastic. It explains why they're in such good condition and means they can be worth a lot of money.
The signature itself is absolutely authentic. It was numbered by George Washington himself when he was signing them.
So what's it worth?
This particular one is pretty much the king of all American lottery tickets. If it were in one of our auctions, I believe I'd put an estimate of between $15,000 and $20,000 on this lottery ticket.
15 and 20?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for coming in, Dana. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome.
I was totally shocked that it was such a valuable piece, more valuable than what I really estimated, but it thrills me to death to have this kind of history in my hand.
So how much you want for it?
How about 15,000?
I'm thinking more in the area of $8 grand.
8,000.
I mean, I think it's more than a fair price.
I can't. 12.
You know, I would really, really love to have this.
Let's say 11,000.
Okay, at $11,000, I'm falling in love with it, and a guy like me who falls in love with stuff is out of business real soon.
Okay.
You know, I would love to have it, but I don't want to be married to it.
I'm sorry, I just can't do it. It's just too pristine, it's too valuable, and it's a piece of history lane here, and I can't part with it for anything less than 11. Well, we can part friends, though, can't we, on this?
Yeah, we can be friends.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks for looking at it, though.
I'm really, really bummed we weren't able to make a deal on this, but this is a business, and if you forget that for a second, you're not going to last long.
I have a Stanhope letter opener.
A Stanhope letter opener. You've been here before, right?
Yeah, I brought you in some cannonballs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still have those.
Uh-oh. Came to the pawn shop today to sell my Stanhope letter opener. I want to sell it today because I need the money. I'm going to ask $250 for it, but I think I'll take as little as $100.
So where'd you get it?
My wife picked it up at a yard sale years ago.
Do you know much about it?
No, I don't.
If you look through this, see that little right there? Mm-hmm. You'll see little pictures.
You see? I don't see anything.
Try your other eye.
I don't see nothing, dude.
Obviously, you need glasses.
What is it?
It's like a black and white slide. There's a picture of the U.S. Capitol, the president's mansion, the White House, and a picture of the Washington Monument. You have to realize in the 1890s, it was a really big deal. In the 1850s, a guy figured out that if you take a microscope and you turn the lens around, you could take a picture and it would make a really, really tiny negative. A guy named Stanhope designed this lens so that it would magnify it hundreds of times.
It don't work because I can't see it.
No, there's something wrong with your eyes because I can see it fine. Stanhopes are also called peeps. They're tiny photo lenses that came out in the mid-1800s. They usually featured monuments or public figures. What do you want to do with it?
I think I'd like to sell it.
How much did you want for it?
How about $250?
How about no? In good shape, these things go for like 200 bucks. Yours isn't in good shape. We got damage, okay?
Yeah. Well, what would you offer for it?
I'd give you like 75 bucks.
It's over 100 years old. You can't go 125?
Just because something's old doesn't mean it's worth money. I mean, I got rocks over 100 years old. I'll give you 100 bucks.
Well, as much as I think you're lowballing me, I'll agree to the 100 bucks.
Okay, it's a deal. You want to write him up, son? Can you read his driver's license?
Yeah, what do I call it? A broken thing with imaginary photos?
The fact that it's over 100 years old, I think it's probably worth more. But I'm walking away with $100, and I guess I'm happy about that.
I have a pair of jockey racing boots autographed by Willie Shoemaker.
That is one little boot. All right, do you know what size these are?
Yeah, these are a size 1. We got the original box.
Why is that boot so small?
Because he was a jockey.
Willie Shoemaker was a very tiny guy.
It was like 1/3 of you.
Yeah, yeah. Coming down to the pawn shop today to sell my jockey boots autographed by Willie Shoemaker. Willie Shoemaker was inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame in 1958. The man was very famous. I think they're worth $4,000, but I'm hoping to walk out of here with 2.
So how'd you get these?
I got these from a friend of the family. Her father won them at the racetrack. Every time Willie Shoemaker won a race leading up to his 8,000th win, they would draw a name and they would win a pair of Willie Shoemaker's autographed boots. And these were on his 7,997th win.
In the world of horse racing, Willie Shoemaker is a legend. Over 8,000 career wins, 4 Kentucky Derbies, 11 Triple Crown races. It goes on and on and on. He was so famous, Andy Warhol painted his portrait. So this is the only one that's signed?
Yes.
You can barely read the signature. I mean, it's faded a lot over time.
Yeah.
And it's also scuffed up right here. So he actually wore these in a race?
He probably did, but I don't know that for sure.
Horse racing memorabilia can be extremely valuable. And if these are real, I want them. But without some proof, I can't even consider making an offer. So what'd you want to do with them?
I would like to sell them.
How much did you want for them?
$4,000.
It's a lot of money for a pair of shoes.
There is a lot of money for the pair of shoes. If you were to go and buy a pair of Krupp's riding boots, that pair is going to cost you over $400.
This is the deal. I mean, I don't think you're lying, but when I go to sell these things, I got to have paperwork saying it's a real signature.
Right.
Okay? Let me get an expert down here. He'll verify the signature. Maybe we can come up with a price.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Sounds good.
I'm okay with them calling in an expert. I'm confident that the item is authentic. It can only work in my advantage to have someone who's an expert come and look at this and go, where did you get this?
I'm Drew with Authentic Autographs Unlimited. I'm a forensic document examiner.
This is what I called you about.
Okay. Well, these are definitely horse racing boots, that's for sure. Willie Shoemaker, okay?
Yep.
Heard of him?
I definitely heard of him. Willie Shoemaker is probably the most famous of all the jockeys. He won his first pro race when he was like 17, ended up winning like 8,800 races, entered like 40,000, and the guy's a total legend. This is authentic, and these can be proved. These were like race worn. That's gonna jack the value of it quite a bit. But all I can really do is study the signature and see if it's authentic or not.
Okay, let's see, see what we got.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you can see it was done with a felt tip pen, probably black. It's probably mostly soaking into the leather. He writes his capital S like a figure 8 almost design. It's very artistic design, and it goes right into the H. And it does have the proper pen lifts, which is between the A and the M. He always did that on every single case, no doubt about it. All the evidence is definitely adding up. There's no doubt, this is authentic, all the way.
Okay, so what do you think they're worth?
Well, Willie Shoemaker's signature on a photograph, I've seen them for around $200–300. I've never seen anything like this on racing boots. Somehow you can confirm, you know, that this was actually worn by him, and it was his last race. It could be worth, you know, tenfold if it's authentic.
Okay, thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Willie Shoemaker's signature is not exactly rare, but if Rick can get this for the proper price, it's definitely a good idea. Horse racing buffs will definitely pay.
So how much were you looking to get out of him?
Well, from what he said, I'm gonna ask $1,250.
Well, this is my problem. It's that autograph, okay? You can barely see it. I'm thinking $500.
That being a little bit more than a signed photograph, thinking more like 800.
I'll go $500. It's what I have to go through to sell them. I have to get them framed. Then people will stop, look at it. So I give you $500. I'm in at $800. I get $1,200.
600.
I'll go $500. If that was dark, I would pay you $1,000, no problem.
I can do that.
All right, $500.
All right.
All right, write them up, chum. Don't play with them. Don't try and put them on. Just go write a ticket on it, all right?
I'll meet you over here.
I settled for $500. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but the concerns that he raised were honestly concerns that I had when I brought them in. So given their condition, I'm okay with it.